It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
Woohoo! Well, hello, Morgan County students. Guess what? It's time for positive actions. And hola es sola acción positiva. Let's get ready for a virtual positive action lesson this week.
Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted
Well,
to
boys and
live
girls, welcome to Mrs. Hott's house. I sure have missed everyone. Just so you know, I want you to remember that you all are unique, you are important, and you're wonderfully made. Now, the word of the week is curious, right? And some of you just might be a little bit curious as to where Mrs. Hott has been over the last few weeks. Well, let me tell you, if you're curious. We have been away, Danny Pooh and I, because he had a very important surgery. Today we're going to read a book, The Brain is Kind of a Big Deal, by Nick Saluk. Head, behind your eyes and under your hair is one of the coolest things about you, your brain. Your brain is the command center of your entire body, a living computer. It's constantly collecting and storing new information about everything you experience. That way, the next time you experience the same thing, your brain will know exactly what to do. Without your brain, you wouldn't be able to read and understand these words or even turn the page. Let's try it. See that? Look what my brain just did. Sure, for you, turning the page seemed easy, but your brain had to move a lot of different muscles in just the right way to make that happen. Your brain works really hard all the time without you even knowing it. Smart stuff. Scientists have been learning about the brain for a very long time, but they still don't know everything. It's so complex we may never learn all there is to know. But scientists will never stop trying to discover more. Why, boys and girls? Because they are curious. And that's our positive action word for this week, curiosity. For our intellectual wellness, we begin today with the word curiosity. Curiosity means eager to learn how and why things happen. Curiosity. It means a desire to know. When you're curious, you're eager to know how and why things happen. This is a positive action that meets the needs of your brain. It helps your intellectual wellness to grow, and it helps you to do well in school. Can you give some examples of things you might be curious about? Go ahead, tell a friend. That was awesome! Awesome! Within your brain are 5 sections called lobes. Each lobe does something a little different, but the parts all work together. The brain is made up of billions of things called neurons. They talk to one another by sending messages through gaps called synapses. When your brain's neurons work together to help your body take action, you can do all kinds of complicated things. Once a message leaves the brain, it travels through long, stringy nerves. Nerves are like roads, and they connect the brain to everything else in the body. Your brain also uses nerves to get messages back from the rest of your body. If you get a paper cut or a scrape on your knee, a nerve will let your brain know very quickly, ouch! Your brain also connects to the rest of your body through the nervous system. The nervous system is made up of your brain, brainstem, spinal curve, and the nerves. Your brain makes your body do a lot of important things that keep you alive without you even thinking about it, like telling your heart to beat or telling your lungs to breathe. Your brain tells you when you need to eat. Your stomach and gut send messages to your brain, and your brain decides when you're hungry or when you're full. Hey, are you tired right now? If you are, your brain is getting messages from your body that you need to sleep soon. Now, when you sleep, your brain and body get a lot of much needed rest. While you dream, your brain gets ready for the next day. Sometimes it'll dream about weird stuff. Boy, if you only knew the weird stuff my brain dreams about. Now it's time to move on to the even more fun stuff. The stuff in your brain that makes you, you. Your brain helps you turn thoughts into words so you can say or write about what you're thinking. Remember, positive actions start with a thought. When you talk and write in a way that other people understand, you're using language. Look at this. Brain in English, cerebro in Spanish, and wait, here's Chinese. That's cool. Smart stuff. People speak different languages all over the world. Depending on where you grow up, you might speak a different language and use different words. Many people even speak more than one language, which allows them to talk to even more people. That's awesome. Now, remember how the brain collects information like a computer and keeps it for later? Your brain is really good at using this information to figure stuff out, along with your senses. So, when you see something, a message is passed from the back of your eyes to the very back of your brain. And when the brain gets the message, the images are actually upside down and backward. Your brain is a good problem solver, though. You can turn them around. Next, your ears are always listening. When you hear something, whether it's the ocean or a song or even a burp, your brain has to work to understand it. The sounds that you hear are made into messages that are sent to your brain, and then your brain tells you what that sound is. Next, anytime you feel with your sense of touch, like something soft or wet, messages are sent to your brain. When you touch something, your brain's experience can be really useful too, especially if whatever you've touched is sharp or too hot. Then your brain can help you avoid it and keep you safe. Next. When a smell enters your nose, a message is sent to your brain. Your brain will then know if the smell is good or if it is bad, if you have smelled it before. Then later, your brain is especially good at remembering those smells. Next. When you taste something, your brain gets a message about the different flavors from this, the tongue. Then your brain decides if it likes the taste or not. Your sense of taste has a lot to do with your sense of smell. Your brain uses your nose even more than your tongue to decide if something tastes good. Your brain is also in charge of telling your muscles and your body exactly how to move. When you run, your brain gives your body very specific instructions. And when you're in danger, your brain is firing messages all through your nervous system to make movements happen. Look, here's a story about a bear. When Danny Pooh and I saw a bear in the woods, we had to run as fast as we could. Thank you, brain. Now, by now, you know that your brain is always collecting information just like a computer. All that information is stored in your memory. Your brain searches through all that information so you can find a memory just when you need it. A new memory is kept by your brain for just about 30 seconds before it's forgotten. This is called short-term memory. If you repeat something enough times, or if it's really important, that short-term memory can turn into, you guessed it, long-term memory. Long-term memories last for a long time. But don't worry, your brain will never stop making new memories. So keep on learning. Something the brain is really, really good at is thinking. Thinking and thinking and thinking. Your brain is thinking about anything pretty much all of the time. To think or not to think. I think, I'll think. You can imagine things and solve problems just by thinking about them. Every invention that people ever created, from rockets and medicine to toilets and to pizza, came from thinking about it to make things happen and to make things better. Did you know something else about your brain? Your feelings, like love, they come from your brain too. You feel happy or sad or angry or scared without ever having to learn how. You can control how you react when you feel something, but your feelings happen no matter what. And remember this, you can help have positive feelings with your positive actions. It all starts in your brain. Thinking something positive, then doing the action. Positive gives you a positive feeling, right? Your brain is pretty important. It helps you make sense of what the world is all around you. It tells your heart to pump blood to the rest of your body and your lungs to breathe so you can stay alive. It makes your body, it moves your body and helps you to talk, to see, and to hear. Your brain is in charge of all of your thoughts and your feelings and your memories that make you, you. Remember, you are unique, right? And so is your brain. Hooray for the brain! You know what? It's kind of a big deal. Hey Morgan County Scholars, welcome back to Virtual Positive Actions today. Here we are at Mrs. Hott's Cubby Corner, where we're going to do a positive action activity all about the word curiosity. Are you curious about something? Do you know someone who's very curious about something and they use their intellectual wellness to learn more about how and why things happen or work? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a person you know, a positive partner who has curiosity. Because it's really cool to have curiosity. And we're going to do a positive action activity. It looks kind of like this. Let's get started. You'll need your paper and also some markers or pencils or your crayons, okay? And what I'd like you to start with, who is that positive partner? Let's think. I know. Dr. Holloway, right? Because a long time ago, she was a little girl curious about the brain, and now she did surgery on Danny Pooh. So my positive partner I'm going to pick is Dr. Holloway. First, I want you to write that name on the paper. What positive partner do you know that has curiosity? Think of a few. Could it be Mr. Cable, a principal, or your teacher? Perhaps it's a doctor, or maybe somebody who likes to cook. I heard there's a new restaurant called Charlotte's, and I know Ashley. Yes, Ashley liked to cook and make desserts. Now look, she has a restaurant. Anybody else? Or maybe you're curious. Maybe your positive partner is curious to play basketball, or maybe it's a writer. Maybe it's a writer of a book. Just think, who is your positive partner with curiosity? I got mine. I'm going to write her name down here. Dr. Holloway. All right, next. Think about what your positive partner is curious about. I have here, Dr. Holloway is curious about. Now, what is she curious about? She's curious about the brain. And then add that in too. She's curious about the brain. Your turn. How about you? What is your positive partner curious about? Is it a story or a book or a place? Maybe it's another country. I'm curious about Spain, where Miss Shama lives. Or maybe it's a special place in Berkeley Springs. Are you curious about the waters, or where George Washington took a bath? Out there, boys and girls. What is your positive partner curious about? Then write it in the space. You got that? Good job. Now, boys and girls, the next thing I want you to do is draw a picture about what he or she wants and desires to know more about. Why are we doing this? Because, guys, it's good for your intellectual wellness. All right, let's get started. I'm drawing a picture of a brain. Then finally, I want you to put your name on here. It says, me too. I'm going to put my name. There we go. So my positive actions paper says Dr. Holloway's curious about the brain, and then it says me too. Mrs. Hott has curiosity. And for positive actions today, guys, remember this: being curious is good for your intellectual wellness. Yes, it is. Curiosity is a positive action. Now you go be curious.